Stick your dick in an anthill. Stick your dick in an anthill. Crap on me. Crap.
This was the moment that broke the internet. A man sitting alone in his car licking an ice cream cone while chanting nonsense into the camera, having no setup, no punchline, just raw confusion. Fortunately, this wasn't just any viral moment. This was the first glimpse into one of the strangest, most unsettling internet spirals we've ever seen.
That I showed you in the beginning. His name is Seth Kinstle. I was going to make a video on two people, him and somebody else, but then I went down the rabbit hole of who Seth Kinstle is, and let me tell you, it's more content than I would have ever expected in my entire life.
They call him many names: Greasy Burger Boy, Ice Cream Man, Cereal Box Seth. But behind the memes and mockery is a man named Seth Kinstle, someone who became a living paradox. On the surface, Seth looked like every other social media clown. Loud, random, unfiltered, but beneath the noise was something far more disturbing. At first glance, he seemed like another unhinged creator uploading identical videos across 15 different channels, sometimes posting dozens of clips in a single day. However, as we peeled back the layers, it became clear. This wasn't a performance art, rather it was collapse masquerading as content.
Attention, cheerio!
Einstein once said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Now, what do you call a man who's posted over 200,000 videos in a decade, screaming into the void, begging for attention, and getting almost nothing in return? Seth isn't chasing clout, he's drowning in it.
Crap on me.
Bling. A clickety clackety clackety. Yippity skippity drippity to run like the cheerio.
Nevertheless, the real tragedy here isn't just the content, it's how he got here. How does a man go from performing original rap verses and writing self-published horror books to slapping himself with cheeseburgers and spitting ice cream into his own lap?
Mine never see the light.
Specifically speaking, Seth wasn't always this way. There was a time he poured emotion into his music, a time he tried, but unfortunately effort means nothing to an algorithm trained to reward absurdity. So what happened? Was it mental illness? Was it drugs? Or was it something far more terrifying? A system so broken, so exploitative, that it could mutate any human being into a content machine?
Social media, likes, comments, refreshing your news feed, followers, all these apps, phone calls, trying to post shit on the internet, look all cool, look funny, or make a cool song, or make some song to make money in society that makes you better than other people, when really it's just a marketing scheme. Fuck it all. I'm gonna go live in the jungle, so that's where you can find me.
Long before Seth became a walking internet meme, he was an anti-influencer to his core. He hated it all, the clout, followers, filters, fake authenticity. He mocked creators who commodified their personalities, who turned trauma into content and fame into identity. F trying to be funny, F trying to be clever, F trying to matter. Back then, Seth wasn't trying to trend. He was trying to burn the system to the ground, but like every villain origin story, something changed. Unfortunately, Seth lost the war. His rants didn't work, his music flopped, his books got ignored, and his animations, some of them surprisingly artistic, barely reached 100 views. So he compromised. He gave the internet what it wanted, and Seth Kinstle died right there in his car seat. In his place, we got Greasy Burger Boy. But this isn't just a story about a man who made weird content for clout. It's a story about a man who lost himself. A man who traded everything he believed in for a taste of visibility, and became something so grotesque, even he may never come back from it.
Somewhere down the line, I did it again, okay? And I ended up getting some likes and stuff. And maybe it wasn't that much, but at first I got I was getting like 60 or 100. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's just keep doing this and see where the it goes. Let's ride this rabbit hole to the end of the rainbow and see if there's a pot of gold. You know what I mean? Let's just do it.
Now, if you thought that was disturbing, hold on tight, because what comes next is even more crazy. We're about to uncover Seth's chaotic freestyles, his acid-fueled breakdown, and the infamous toilet seat arc that finally made him go viral. And trust me, you haven't seen anything yet.
Anywhere, I don't care. I'm dead, in the back of your trunk, because it's better like that. I'm better off not breathing or living or surviving or even spitting any game at anyone. I'm unaccomplished. I'm undeserving and astonished by the stupidity of mass brainwash consciously sifting through the hourglass searching for someone, but no one is there, and I'm blunt and honest. At the same time, I'm tainted, like the glass on a car at a junkyard. I act hard, but I'm not. I'm just a nerdy white kid making songs and art, animations, whatever I can. I just kid. I busted off the lid.
Once upon a time, Seth Kinstle wanted to be seen. Not laughed at, not mocked, but seen. His early freestyles weren't jokes. They were cries for validation, wrapped in offbeat rhymes and glitchy audio. The camera would shake, the audio would clip, but the message stayed heartbreakingly consistent. I'm unaccomplished, I'm undeserving, I'm just a nerdy effing white kid making songs and art, animations, whatever I can. This wasn't performance art, this was a confession. Seth wasn't trying to go viral, he was trying to feel real. His early uploads were littered with lo-fi music, hand-drawn animations, spoken word rants, and strange little performances where he put himself out there, flaws and all. Now, they were awkward and were also messy, but they were his. And unfortunately, no one cared. No views, no comments, no traction, just digital silence, echoing back louder than any audience ever could.
I've played so many video games. I've written a bunch of books. Well, 6 books. Like, I want to write a lot more.
Now, Seth didn't just disappear quietly. He kept posting. He kept trying. But slowly the tone shifted. The freestyles turned darker. The jokes became bitterness wrapped in bars, and the persona started to fracture.
I just want to, like, bash some with a fucking baseball bat. Or something. Just, like, for fun. Just, like, beat the out of a bunch of just...
Unfortunately, that wasn't a joke. That wasn't satire. It was a man unraveling in public. He wasn't trying to build anymore. He was venting. And every upload felt like another piece of himself falling off.
Tupac sucks cocks, Eminem is feminine, he falls apart like 50 cents. Fat ass, well, I'm a piece of shit, idiot, dumbass, a rap star who doesn't even make songs anymore. I wish he would've instead of getting rich. Why don't you look the other way? You stupid ass little shit, I'm gonna fucking come in your skull with a shovel.
It's one thing to feel misunderstood online, but to wish for the entire planet's destruction just so you can disappear, that's different. That's terrifying. This wasn't a creator going through a rough patch. This was a man breaking down on camera every day for anyone to see but no one to help. His social media posts became manic, unfocused, disturbing. One minute he was talking about Twitch and Mr. Beast. The next he was writing about incest, death, and alien abductions, sometimes all in one post. Now, to most viewers, it looked like shock humor. But for those who looked closer, it was something far more troubling.
Over a decade ago, I tripped out on some bad acid, you know, had some bad trips, had a bad trip, had a hallucinogenic pulse through.
Seth eventually admitted that he had taken bad acid years ago, and that he believed it broke something inside him. Schizophrenic, delusional, insane. I went so crazy I almost died. Whether that was a metaphor or a moment of painful honesty, we'll never know. But one thing is certain, it marked the beginning of the end. From that point on, the videos stopped making sense. He stopped forming full sentences, stopped telling stories, stopped caring whether what he made was funny or smart or good. He didn't care if you laughed, he just wanted you to see him.
And now your host, Seth Kinstle. Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby. Hello, everybody. I'm here to Do some slurping and shooping and derping and kerping. And this has been the Seth Kinstle Show.
Seth's uploads turned into sound bites of madness, bizarre noises, nonsense syllables, chaotic screams, sometimes layered with singing and laced with sadness. And then came the shift.
In society that makes you better than other people, when really it's just a marketing scheme. F it all. I'm gonna go live in the jungle, so that's where you can find me. In the jungle or in a forest, living off the land, because
I'm going to go live in the jungle. He wasn't smiling, he wasn't performing, and he meant it, at least emotionally. Because the jungle wasn't a location, it was the internet, wild, unfiltered, and unforgiving. And Seth had officially entered it without a map. Then came the moment that changed everything. No more rants, no more music, just Seth eating a burger, slowly, blankly, in total silence. He stared at the camera with a look that was part deadpan, part broken, and the internet loved it. It got more views than anything he'd ever done, so he did it again, and again, and again. But this time he added strange throat sounds. Then he started spitting food out and eating it again, and then came the toilet seats. This wasn't content anymore. It was a ritual, one designed to game the algorithm at any cost. Seth had cracked the formula. Don't connect, don't explain, don't care. Just be weird enough to go viral, and tragically, it worked. January 20, 2023, the moment Seth quietly ascended from chaotic creator to internet anomaly. He didn't say anything, he didn't rap, he didn't scream, he just ate. That's it. A man eating a burger in complete silence. It should have flopped, but surprisingly, it didn't. I was pretty pushed to my boundaries. I'd made so much stuff. I was overwhelmed, I was disappointed. Entertainment can be a big letdown. So he ran with it. What started as a sad, low-effort video eventually became a full-blown identity, and Greasy Burger Boy was born. Now, this wasn't just a one-off moment. It became a blueprint, a formula for success built not on substance, but on raw, algorithm-ready absurdity.
A chicken Cheerio! A doodly doodly woodly! A yippity skippity yippity! Doodly doodly woodly! A chirpy burpy derpy! A yippity skippity yippity! A doodly doodly woodly!
Soon, Seth wasn't even trying to say anything meaningful anymore. He began throwing random sounds into the void. Car noises, baby babble, fake animal screeches, nonsense syllables over and over and over again. Nevertheless, the more uncomfortable the content became, the more views it got. But viewers weren't understanding him. They were reacting to him even if they didn't know why, especially because they didn't know why. Then came the food phase. He started chewing on fast food, spitting it into napkins, and eating it again, all on camera. Most people would be banned for that, but unfortunately, Seth went viral. From that point on, he knew what he was doing. It wasn't madness, it was method. He leaned into the freak show, exaggerated the weird, and did what no one else was willing to do. He turned shame into strategy. Now here's where it gets even more disturbing. Seth isn't just spiraling, he's strategic. In his Discord server, when someone suggested he return to gaming content, Seth replied, "Nah, not right now. These singing streams are going well. I don't want to lose momentum." Let that sink in. This is a man with 200,000 plus videos across dozens of channels, yet he's closely tracking analytics, algorithm behavior, and viewer engagement like a full-blown content scientist. He's not just throwing content at the wall, he's optimizing chaos. He knows that 1 second of confusion is worth more than 10 minutes of explanation. That hate comments boost the numbers, and that disgust more than delight makes people watch until the end. And that's exactly what he wants.
I've been waking people up, man. I've been giving them truth. I've been giving them realness. I've been able to see that stuff. You know, that's the difference between me and other people. A lot of people, they can't even give videos like this because they don't even know how to think like that. You want to know why? Because I've been doing this for years, man. I've been doing this stuff for years, man. Don't try to do it. Try to Seth Kinstle. That's what they say. Try to Seth Kinstle. Try to pull a Seth Kinstle. I've been waking people up.
His tactic is painfully simple. Post 30 to 50 videos every day and be absurd enough to bait hate comments, then let the algorithm reward confusion, discomfort, or disgust. And unfortunately, it worked better than anything else he ever tried. No one has really managed to take off this way. Seth's genius worked, and it's still working. He didn't just go viral, he became unavoidable. But here's the tragedy.
I honestly don't think there's any hope in our human race anymore. There's just too many people making music and making YouTube videos and trying to get likes on the internet, and they think they're so good looking, or they're just, representing themselves, and they're not really doing anything in the field of science or anything to benefit humankind whatsoever. But really, I mean, they are, because they justify it, because there's just so many people that are attracted to this kind of thing anymore.
Underneath the persona of Greasy Burger Boy, Seth is miserable. He once ranted about how fake and soulless social media was.
Social media, likes, comments, followers, trying to market anything, trying to be wise, trying to be funny.
Now he's the poster boy for fake rage bait content, and he's not being laughed with, he's being laughed at, and he knows it. He's created a character that does anything for attention, including eating, spitting, and screaming just to stay relevant. He's not proud of it, but he's trapped by it. And yet, painfully, it's the most successful thing he's ever done. This isn't satire, it's not parody, it's not abstract art. It's a man cornered by the algorithm, desperately squeezing out whatever last drop of engagement he can get.
I know that other people post probably way less videos and get better responses. And hey, I understand that, okay? But I'm not Jesus Christ here, okay? I'm not Kurt Cobain. I'm not Brock Lesnar. I'm not John Cena. I'm not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Tech9 or Eminem.
How did we get here? What happened to the artist who wrote poetry, made animations, and rapped into a webcam hoping that someone would notice? What happened to the man who used to hate everything this has become? The answer might be even darker than we think. This isn't a character. It's a man telling the world he doesn't exist anymore. Seth has posted over 200,000 videos across multiple identities. He's tried to be a comedian, a rapper, a podcaster, a horror writer, a noise artist, a philosopher, a wannabe lolcow, and a dozen versions of himself in between. But somewhere in that pile of content, something broke. "I'm not real, I'm a parody of myself," he says. That's not a joke. That's a man looking in the mirror and seeing a stranger.
I think we're just all and we're all just going to hell, and I mean, this might sound crazy, but it's just like, it's just stupid. There's just so much stupid shit on the internet. This is the way it is, man. People laugh and people, whatever. But I still think we're all a place that you made with your headphones, and you're all alone, and the Egyptian gods came.
This is the moment when viewers started to realize this isn't just cringe content. This isn't just another weird TikToker. This is someone losing their sense of self in real time and documenting it publicly. Like a car crash you can't stop watching, Seth is unraveling in full HD. And the worst part is, we're still watching. Then came the toilet seat. Not metaphorical, literal. At his lowest point, Seth started wearing a toilet seat on his head. He danced with it, made noises into it, screamed into it like a broken speaker. And the internet loved it. "This man just unlocked the algorithm," one comment read. "This is what TikTok wants, chaos. No meaning, no story, just noise." And TikTok agreed. The videos went viral. Millions of views, thousands of stitches. No one knew what they were watching, but no one looked away. What's tragic is that most of the comments weren't mocking. They were confused, concerned. Some were even angry, because the internet loves a freak show. But it also loves pretending it's better than the people it watches. And Seth makes everyone uncomfortable not because it's weird, but because he's too real, too messy, and too reflective of what we fear we could become. Is this a bit? Is he okay? Is someone helping him? No one's helping him, that's the point.
I know how hard it is, and I know, I know what's going on, okay? I know what quality is, all this crap. I know. And people try to tell me things like I don't know what the f*** is going on. Well, maybe I don't. But anyway, so I did this video and I said, and I was basically saying how useless it is. And I was like, this is just stupid. Like, this means nothing. I'm just some guy.
And yet, in the middle of all this madness, Seth still believes he's making art. He thinks it's experimental, postmodern, an abstract commentary on the state of the internet, and maybe it is or maybe it's just the only thing he has left. Because everything else, his music, books, jokes, his thoughts, all failed. That is what's stuck, and now he's holding on to it like the last thing tethering him to relevance. I'm not famous, I'm just a weird guy online. That's my legacy. There's something deeply sad about that line. Because Seth didn't start out like this. He wanted to matter. He wanted to connect. He wanted to be understood. But now he's just a spectacle. The kind he used to hate. The kind he warned us about in his old rants. But now he is the rant.
I'm just Seth Kinstle.
This is where the tragedy hits hardest. Seth isn't addicted to fame. He's addicted to being seen. Even if it's through disgust. Even if it's through mockery. Even if it means sacrificing every ounce of dignity he had left. Because attention, even the worst kind, is still attention. At some point, he gave up being understood. He stopped explaining, stopped justifying, stopped hoping. He just leaned in deeper, louder and weirder. Because if you scream loud enough, even if it's nonsense, the algorithm will hear you. And for a moment, someone might look your way. Seth Kinstle isn't a celebrity. He's not an influencer. He's not even really a creator anymore. He's a mirror, a reflection of what the internet turns people into, and attention becomes the only metric that matters. He didn't get big for being talented or insightful. He got big for being confusing, unfiltered, and unforgettable. That's it. And unfortunately, in 2025, that was enough.
I started this channel, Midnight Snack Seth, to prove a point. To prove a point to people that I could be better, that I could do something else, that I could embrace diversity and start a different channel, a new character, a new guy, a new chapter, a branch. Well, you found my video, and I'm laying in bed, talking. I failed. I failed YouTube.
It didn't start this way. Seth used to try. He used to put real thought into his content. Music, animations, emotional monologues, awkwardly raw freestyles. There was a time he cared, and if you dig far enough back in his content graveyard, you'll find pieces of a guy who genuinely believed he had something to offer, but no one listened. The algorithm didn't care. Viewers didn't respond. He tried to connect, and the world scrolled past, until he stopped trying altogether. Now he doesn't create. He uploads, constantly, endlessly. Videos with no direction, no message, no point beyond, watch me. And it's not because he has nothing to say, it's because nothing else works. That's the part no one wants to admit. These videos, the ice cream, the car noises, the bizarre chants, they shouldn't work, but they do. Because they provoke something, not laughter, not empathy, but confusion, disgust, intrigue. People comment things like, "What the hell is this?" and "This makes me uncomfortable." And then they send it to their friends to see if they'll react the same. That's what drives the algorithm, not quality or impact.
You are here to crap on me. It is your destiny. It is your everything. It is your sole existence to be here and take a crap on my face. Don't you get that? Don't you understand that? That's why you're here. To crap on me.
It doesn't matter if the impact is negative, as long as people stop and stare, the machine keeps pushing.
Thinkity, thinkity, thunkity, minkity, mankity, monkity, thinkity, thinkity, thunkity, doodly, 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 doo, thinkity, thinkity, thunkity, doodly, 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 doo.
But while we're sharing clips and laughing at the absurdity, we forget there's still a person behind the noise. Someone who's openly said they're lost, burnt out, and possibly broken. Seth has asked existential questions on live streams. He's hinted at severe mental health struggles. People in the comments have started asking, is he okay? Is this a joke? Is anyone helping him? But no one's helping because no one ever does. And in the background, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram keep pushing his content. Not because they care about him, but because he generates attention. He's useful.
I can't be like this. I'm gonna plunge him out of me. I'm gonna plunge. Oh, kid. Get out of there. Get out. Get out of there. Out of there. I'm a grown man. To plunge these ideas out of my head. Get out.
He once said, "It's just noise, but it's my noise." And that sums it up perfectly, because deep down, Seth still believes he's doing something meaningful. He calls it experimental. He compares it to abstract expression, and maybe it is. Maybe we're the ones who don't get it. Or maybe he's lying to himself, trying to find purpose in a mess that's already confused him. He didn't go viral for being good. He went viral for being unignorable, and that's what makes this more terrifying than funny. At some point, this stopped being performance and became survival. Seth needs the views now. Not for money. He said multiple times that he makes almost nothing. Not for clout. He doesn't do brand deals or interviews. He just needs to know he's still being seen. Even if it's for the wrong reasons, or even if it's for something he no longer controls. And in that way, Seth represents more than just himself. He's the early warning signal, a canary in the algorithmic coal mine, the prototype of what happens when a person is ground down by platforms that reward extremes over effort and spectacle over sincerity.
Don't you be rude.
He said, "I'm just part of the noise now." And he's right. He's no longer a creator. He's a byproduct, a symptom, a side effect of the system we all helped build. He's not the disease, he's the mirror. And here's the part that should haunt us all. If this system can turn Seth into what he is, it can do it to anyone.
Stick your dick in an anthill. Stick your dick in an anthill.
If views are the only thing that matter, how long before you start trading honesty for outrage, connection for chaos? How long before you start uploading instead of creating? How long before you stop asking why and start asking what works? This story isn't just about Seth Kinstle. It's about us, because we're the ones watching. We're the ones sharing, and we're the ones pushing people like Seth further and further into the void, because it entertains us. He's not the villain, he's the result. At some point, Seth stopped being a creator and became a reflection, not of talent, not of success, but of the internet itself, loud, disjointed, hungry, and broken. He didn't plan to be this, no one ever does. He wanted to make things, write, rap, connect. But now he's a signal lost in static, whispering through the cracks of a system that only listens when you scream. The tragedy isn't just that Seth lost his voice, it's that he still talks every day, louder than ever, into a void that only rewards what it doesn't understand. We all saw the videos of him licking an ice cream cone in a car while chanting nonsense. No build-up, no context, just pure, unfiltered confusion. That clip alone racked up thousands of views and shares, not because anyone cared about the man behind the gibberish, but because it made them stop scrolling. That's what counts now. Not connection, not clarity, just interruption. In another video, he eats a burger, spits it out, stares into the camera, and eats it again. No music, no captions, just the action. It's disgusting. And it works because discomfort fuels clicks better than joy ever could. The more awkward it feels, the more people watch, and even you, yes you, and Seth knows it. In an older interview buried deep in his channel, Seth admits he was overwhelmed. I was pushed to my limit, he says. I had nothing left, so I just started uploading whatever came out. That wasn't a moment of genius, it was collapse, and the algorithm called it art. Years before he became Greasy Burger Boy, Seth wrote horror novels, made stick animations, uploaded odd half-poetic rants on YouTube. There was effort, not perfect, but personal. Now none of that content surfaces. None of it breaks the feed because effort doesn't perform the way absurdity does.
And now your host, Seth Kinstle. Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby. Hello, everybody. I'm here to do some slurping and shooping and derping and kerping.
Today, what gets traction are videos where he squeals like a cartoon character or makes car noises. No meaning, no message, just enough chaos to trigger your brain. And the scariest part is that that strategy works better than anything he's ever made from the heart. You'll find the proof in the stitches. Teenagers reacting in shock, grown men laughing in disbelief. Comment sections full of, "What the F did I just watch?" Barely anyone asks the more important question, why is he still doing this? Because the answer is simple. Being broken gets seen. In one reel he rants, "Crap on me, it's your destiny," as if daring the audience to turn him into a meme, and they do. The comments mock him, the algorithm rewards him, and Seth uploads another. He's not trying to win anymore, he's trying to exist. I'm not Jesus, I'm not Kurt Cobain, but I can go viral eating an effing burger. That line isn't dramatic, it's resignation. It's a man realizing that his only value, at least here in this space, is the reaction his breakdown triggers. Not his work, not his story, just the spectacle. And maybe that's what hurts the most, because it's working. He's being talked about, shared, stitched, and studied. Even now he's the centerpiece of this very video. The punchline that turned into a prophecy. Compare that to one of his old animations. Clumsy, yes, but full of intent. A simple stick figure fight with actual structure. It got barely 200 views, no comments, no algorithm boost. So Seth stopped animating and started spitting food in cars. We didn't break him, but we rewarded the break. He said, "Let's ride this rabbit hole to the end of the effing rainbow." He wasn't joking. There's no plan to fix it, no pivot coming. Seth's already inside the machine, and the machine doesn't want him healed. It just wants some more, and as long as we keep clicking, it'll keep chewing. This isn't just Seth's story. It's a mirror for the internet we scroll every day, a system that trades depth for drama and people for performance. Before you swipe past the next meltdown, ask yourself, are you entertained or just complicit? Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's chasing attention before they lose themselves in the process. And as always, stay curious, but don't disappear in the scroll.